Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into India's Independence Day. It's a date many of us know, August 15th, but there's so much history there. The significance, the lessons, it goes way beyond just a date on the calendar. Our mission today is to really unpack it, not just what happened, but why it still matters so much for, well, over 1 billion people.
That's exactly right. It's far more than just a holiday. For India, it's a really powerful day. A day for reflection, yes, but also immense pride and, importantly, immense responsibility, too.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We know the basics, August 15th, freedom from almost 200 years of British rule, but what makes that specific day so foundational? Why is it celebrated with such, national pride?
Well, you've touched on the core. August 15th, 1947. It wasn't just handing over power politically. It marked the absolute end of one era and the birth of a sovereign nation. So it's celebrated first off to honor the freedom fighters. Countless people, their sacrifices made it happen. But crucially, it's also a reminder, a living reminder of the values India was built on. Democracy, unity and diversity, and that constant push for progress.
That timescale. Nearly 200 years, it's just staggering to think about. It really makes you wonder, how did India achieve freedom after such a long period of rule? Where did the struggle even begin?
Yeah, the struggle was incredibly long and tough. It really started, you could say, with early sparks, little bits of resistance. Think about the revolt of 1857. Now, they didn't succeed in the end, but it lit a fire, the idea of widespread resistance. And from there, nationalist leaders started to emerge, people pushing for more self-rule, figures like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, they called him the father of Indian unrest, and Lala Lajpat Rai, the lion of Punjab, Bipin Chandrapal too. These were key figures early on. They really started organizing, articulating the demand for an independent India. Then fast forward to the 20th century, and things really shift. Mahatma Gandhi arrives on the scene, and his approach, nonviolence and truth, satyagraha. It was pivotal. That philosophy united millions, people from all walks of life. He led these huge mass movements, like the non-cooperation movement boycotting British goods institutions, then the civil disobedience movement, defying unjust laws, and finally the Quit India movement, a very clear call, British, leave now.
It's just incredible how Gandhi's nonviolence managed to bring so many people together. But I imagine breaking free after almost 2 centuries, it probably needed more than one strategy, right? What about the revolutionaries? That's another sort of parallel path we hear about. How did their efforts fit in?
You're absolutely right. Gandhi's nonviolent path was central, no question.
Yeah.
But running alongside it, you had revolutionaries who deeply inspired people. Their courage, their determination, it was infectious. Think of Bhagat Singh. He became this huge symbol of defiance. Chandrasekhar Azad, another key figure known for that revolutionary spirit, and Subhas Chandra Bose, who actually formed the Indian National Army outside India to fight. So, yeah, independence wasn't just one thing. It was the culmination. Decades of struggle, complex negotiations, and profound sacrifices from all these different groups, different approaches, all adding pressure.
Okay, so we've traced this incredible long journey from those early sparks to Gandhi's movements and the revolutionaries. Knowing all that, what does this freedom actually mean today? How does Independence Day resonate now in contemporary India?
Its significance today is really multi-layered. It's not just one thing. Obviously, it's about remembering, paying tribute to those freedom fighters. But it's also a powerful symbol of unity. Think how diverse India is. Hundreds of languages, cultures. The day shows that a shared dream for freedom could bring all that together. And it reinforces those core democratic values, liberty, equality, justice. They weren't just given, they were fought for.
Yeah.
And they're still being built. And, it fuels patriotism, not just flag waving, but a sense of collective duty, working towards the nation's progress.
Right. And when we think about the day itself, Independence Day, I always picture these huge, grand celebrations. Is that generally accurate? What does it look like on the ground?
Oh, absolutely. Grand celebrations are definitely a part of it. The main event, the iconic one, is at the Red Fort in Delhi. The Prime Minister hoists the national flag. There's a 21-gun salute, a national address. It's quite a spectacle. But it's not just confined to Delhi. Far from it. All across the country, schools, colleges, offices, you'll find cultural events, patriotic programs, debates on national issues. It's widespread.
Beyond the big Red Fort ceremony, are there any sort of unique traditions that really capture that feeling of freedom? I think I've heard about kite flying.
Yes. Kite flying is a wonderful tradition, very popular, especially in places like Delhi and across Gujarat. It's beautiful, really. It symbolizes the spirit of freedom soaring high. Imagine the sky just filled with colorful kites. It represents those aspirations. And, things change with time. In today's digital age, you see patriotism expressed online too. Lots of online campaigns, creative videos, people sharing patriotic posts. That's part of it now as well.
That's fascinating how it plays out within India. But the celebration isn't just limited to India's borders, is it? How do Indians living abroad mark Independence Day? And does that have a broader impact?
That's a really good point. No, it's definitely not just within India. The Indian diaspora all over the world celebrates with huge pride. Real enthusiasm. They organize cultural shows, community parades, flag hoisting ceremonies at embassies, community centers. It really demonstrates that strong emotional connection they still feel to India. And practically, it helps spread awareness globally about India's history, its culture. It's quite significant. And if you zoom out, look at the bigger picture. India's independence back in 47, it was like a beacon of hope for so many other nations still under colonial rule, especially in Asia and Africa. It showed them, look, peaceful resistance, collective struggle. It can defeat even massive empires. It genuinely inspired a whole waves of decolonization that followed. It showed it was possible.
That's a really powerful legacy, and it brings up an important point. With freedom comes responsibility, doesn't it? So what are the crucial responsibilities that fall on Indians today, on this generation?
Absolutely. Freedom isn't free in a sense. It demands responsibility. For today's generation, I'd say preserving that unity and diversity is key. It's an ongoing task in such a varied country. Respecting the Constitution, upholding democratic principles, making sure those foundations stay strong, and, crucially, actively contributing, using their skills, their talents to help the nation develop, excelling in whatever they do. But it goes beyond that too. Things like environmental conservation, spreading education, working to reduce social inequalities. These are vital responsibilities too, carrying forward that spirit.
India has made incredible strides, no doubt. Space, tech, economic growth. But like any nation, challenges remain. Even after all this time since independence, what are some of the persistent issues India is still grappling with?
You're right. The progress is undeniable. Technology, science, defense, the economy, huge advancements. Yet, challenges like poverty, unemployment, corruption, even basic literacy, these unfortunately persist. And they aren't just abstract issues. They affect real people, daily lives. They remind us that the promise of independence, a dignified life, opportunity for everyone, well, that's still a work in progress. Social inequality is a big one too. And environmental degradation. These are serious concerns. So Independence Day isn't just about looking back. It's a reminder to keep working together, to tackle these issues and build that truly developed India everyone dreams of. Let's maybe zoom back in on some of the key figures for a moment. We talked about Mahatma Gandhi. Can you elaborate a bit more on his specific role? Why was his nonviolent approach so uniquely pivotal? Gandhi's role was, well, absolutely central. Because he didn't just advocate nonviolence, he perfected it as a tool for mass political change. Satyagraha. His methods inspired millions of ordinary people to join the struggle without resorting to violence. That was revolutionary in itself. Those big movements, non-cooperation, civil disobedience, quit India, they showed the power of collective, peaceful action under his leadership, mobilized the entire nation. And his ideas, his ideology, didn't just free India. It had a massive global impact, influencing civil rights movements everywhere. Think Martin Luther King Jr. in the U.S.
It really highlights the power of an idea. Besides Gandhi, though, who are some other really important leaders or revolutionaries, people our listeners should perhaps know about, and what did they bring to the table?
Oh, there were so many crucial figures. It truly was a collective effort. Beyond Gandhi, you absolutely have to mention Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first prime minister. His vision really shaped modern, democratic, secular India. Then there's Sardar Patel, the Iron Man of India. His massive task was uniting hundreds of princely states into the Indian Union. Just monumental. And Subhas Chandra Bose, who took a different, more militant path, leading the Indian National Army from outside India, a different kind of inspiration, focused on armed struggle. And the revolutionaries, too. Figures like Bhagat Singh, executed for his defiance, became a potent symbol. Rajguru, his comrade. Chandrasekhar Azad, known for his resolve. Even going back earlier, Rani Lakshmibai, the Queen of Jhansi from the 1857 revolt. A powerful symbol of bravery. Each brought something unique. Different strategies, different appeals, but all pushing towards the same goal. It was truly multifaceted.
Bringing all this history, this incredible struggle to the present, what does it all mean for young people in India today? How does this history actually inspire them?
I think it inspires them profoundly. Firstly, to really value the freedom they have. To understand it wasn't just handed over, it was hard-earned. That fosters gratitude. It motivates them, I believe, to dream big, to work hard with integrity, to innovate and contribute to the country's progress. They know the foundation was laid by immense sacrifice. Young people are constantly reminded, subtly or directly, that India's future is genuinely in their hands. Their dedication, their energy, their talent. That's what will shape a stronger, more prosperous, and hopefully a more inclusive India going forward.
So if we were to boil it all down, if you take away just one thing from this deep dive today, what central message should we carry forward this Independence Day?
I think the most vital message is this. Independence isn't just a once-a-year celebration. It's about living those core values, democracy, equality, justice, every single day. We honor the freedom fighters best by staying united, by working hard, by being responsible citizens. True independence is really achieved when every single Indian feels they can contribute to the nation's growth, and when we ensure future generations inherit a country that's strong, harmonious, and just. That's the legacy.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into India's Independence Day. A day that, as we've heard, is so much more than just a date on the calendar. It's a living history, a continuing journey. And perhaps a final thought to leave you with. Remember, freedom is a precious gift, but maintaining it, building upon it, that's our collective, ongoing responsibility.